You want her to crave you, don't you? To feel that delicious, maddening obsession where you haunt her mind even when you're nowhere near, where every man around her feels like bland breadsticks, and you're the entire feast. But here's the secret the loud guys on the internet won't tell you. You don't get there by chasing her. You get there by becoming the man her instincts can't ignore. Because the truth? A woman doesn't become obsessed with you when you run after her like a lost puppy. No, that triggers her survival brain, the part designed to avoid men who reek of desperation. Obsession is born when she feels like she discovered you, when she senses depth, danger, and a hint of mystery in your presence, when she realizes you could have anyone, but you choose you. That's the Machiavellian art we're about to break down today. So lean in, because I'm about to give you the blueprint, not for attraction, that's easy. I'm talking about psychological gravity, the kind that keeps her up at night, replaying your words, aching for your presence. 1. The silent power of indifference. Here's a paradox. The more you chase, the more she runs. The less you need, the more she craves. Why? Because neediness screams, "I have nothing else going on." Indifference, though, it's intoxicating. It whispers, "I like you, but my life doesn't revolve around you." Women are drawn to men who feel like a complete world on their own, men whose value doesn't hinge on female approval. You become the mountain, and mountains don't beg travelers to climb them. They stand tall. They let the wind, the storms, and yes, the occasional adventurer come to them. But here's the kicker. Indifference is not pretending to care less. That's manipulation. Real indifference comes from actually building a life so rich, so purpose-driven, that no single person becomes the center of it. A woman senses that. It electrifies her. Because in a world full of men performing for scraps of attention, you feel untouchable. 2. Mystery, the oxygen of obsession. Let me tell you a hard truth. If she knows everything about you in 2 dates, the game is over. Obsession thrives on curiosity. It dies in predictability. You must become a man with layers, the kind she can't quite pin down. One moment you're warm, teasing, playful. The next, you're lost in thought, unavailable, chasing some ambition she can't access. Not because you're playing games, but because your life is genuinely bigger than her imagination. Women don't become obsessed with men who lay their entire soul bare too soon. They become obsessed with the man who leaves them thinking, who is he really? What's driving him? And why can't I stop thinking about him? Mystery isn't about lying, it's about pacing your truth, about letting her earn pieces of you over time. Humans overvalue what they work for. Make her work for it. 3. The sexual energy she can't ignore. Let's cut the saint act. You want her sexually obsessed? Then stop radiating nice guy energy. Women aren't drawn to men who tiptoe around their desire like it's something to be ashamed of. They're drawn to men who own it unapologetically, without being creepy, without being pushy, just grounded in their masculine polarity. Here's what I mean. Creepy energy seeks validation. Please like me. Grounded desire says, I want you, but I'll be fine if I don't have you. That energy, it drives women wild because it communicates choice. It tells her you're in control of yourself, your life, and your urges. Pair that with eye contact that lingers a second too long, a voice that slows down when it should rush, silence you refuse to fill just to impress her, and you've got the kind of sexual tension most men will never master. 4. The psychology of absence. Here's a law of human nature. We desire most what we can't fully have. If you're always available, always texting back in 2 seconds, always ready to drop your life for her, you kill the tension before it blooms. Obsession grows in space, in unanswered questions, in the slight ache of your absence. Now, I'm not telling you to ghost her, that's juvenile. I'm saying keep your life full enough that she sometimes wonders what you're doing, who you're with, what you're thinking about. That curiosity, it sharpens her attraction into something far more primal. 5. Emotional roller coasters, the secret ingredient. Now let's get a little Machiavellian. Brains don't bond through comfort alone. They bond through intensity, through highs and lows that release dopamine like a slot machine jackpot. This is why bad boys, as toxic as they are, sometimes hook women deeper than the perfect nice guy. They create emotional spikes, excitement, jealousy, passion, uncertainty. You, however, are going to do this consciously, responsibly, with playfulness. Tease her, then surprise her with sincerity. Be unpredictable, but never unstable. Make her laugh, then hit her with a compliment that makes her heart stop. It's the contrast, the tension between comfort and excitement that forges obsession. 6. Purpose, the nuclear weapon of desire. You want the ultimate cheat code? Here it is. Have a mission bigger than her. Nothing, and I mean nothing, makes a man more magnetic than living for something beyond women. It could be your craft, your business, your art, your empire. Whatever it is, let it consume you. Because here's the paradox. When you stop making women the center of your universe, they start orbiting yours. A man on a mission radiates a gravitational pull women can feel. It tells her you're going somewhere with or without her, that she can join the ride, but she can't derail it. That energy, it's rare, it's irresistible. 7. Self-mastery, becoming the obsession. At the core of everything we've said, indifference, mystery, sexual energy, purpose, lies one thing: self-mastery. Women become obsessed with men who are in control of themselves, their emotions, their impulses, their lives. Because a man who can't control himself can't protect, lead, or inspire anyone else. When you master your fitness, your finances, your focus, your emotions, you stop needing women to fill your emptiness. And that's exactly when they start craving your presence. Because deep down, every woman wants to feel, if he chooses me, it's because I'm special, not because he's desperate. 8. The final twist: walking away. Here's the Machiavellian cherry on top. Even after she's hooked, even after the obsession takes root, you must be willing to walk away. Not as a manipulation tactic, not as a game, but because your self-respect demands it. When a woman senses you'd rather lose her than lose yourself, that you'd rather be alone than disrespected, she feels the full weight of your value. Because obsession isn't born from giving her everything. It's born from knowing you could, but you won't, unless she truly earns it. That's power. So there it is, the blueprint. Not for cheap tricks, not for fake alpha posturing, but for becoming the kind of man who naturally inspires craving, devotion, even obsession, without ever chasing. Indifference, mystery, sexual energy, purpose, self-mastery, the willingness to walk away. Get these right, and you won't have to beg for attention. You'll be the storm she never saw coming, and the calm she can't live without.